Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. All right, so Tyron Smith is set to have surgery tomorrow. The team will have a better idea how long he will be out for after the surgery once they get in there. Do the reattachment of the hamstring and deal with, of course, the damage that is. They'll see how bad the damage is. You know, it's amazing that Jerry Jones on the circus that is the Dallas Cowboys, where he literally flew Stephen A. Smith in for first take today on the show. Said that, of course, we'll be better off because he'll be ready by playoffs. That's assuming you make the playoffs. That means you have to do enough to earn the right to go to the playoffs. I know the preseason poll came out and the Cowboys are in the top 10 from preseason rankings. But the reality is the Cowboys have a lot of issues. It's amazing that Jerry Jones, coming out his mouth, said that the offensive players will have to step up in Tyron Smith's absence. I'm not going to try and get pessimistic here. I'm not going to try and say that the season's over with. I can point back to Dak Prescott taking over for Tony Romo, where people looked and they just said, this is it, we're done, pack it in. I'm not ready to do that yet. I know we have a defense that's going to be playing great. I know we have some real good players still on offense, but it's going to be, how does the team react? My problem is right now when we look at this and we look back at the course of the last few years with Tyron Smith. Last year it was 5 games that he missed. The year before it was 14. The year before that it was 3. And now we're talking about he might be ready by playoffs. I don't want to hear anything more about Tyron Smith for this season. If the Cowboys get into a position to make the playoffs, knowing that he's missed 3/4 of the season, I'm not ready to say, let's bring him back. If those guys, in fact, if Dak Prescott, and here's my point on this is, I've heard for so long that Dak Prescott, he's not good, it's everything around him. Well, here's the thing. It's been a number of years since the Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been the best offensive line in football. Tyron Smith, as we know, has missed a lot of games, of course, in the last few years. We've gone to the point where we've said Zeke Elliott is no longer the guy, and the guy who has been breaking down himself, playing, 3/4 of the season on a torn PCL. We've all said that Amari Cooper was the receiver that made Dak Prescott. He's no longer here. Michael Gallup, I know the Cowboys are trying to sell us on that he may be ready to play, but if he's ready to start the season, that's 2 months quicker than Adrian Peterson actually did. If this year, this Dallas Cowboys offense is anything, you have to give credit, full credit, to Dak Prescott. Everything that they've said and handicapped Dak Prescott for, he no longer has. And now Jerry Jones is basically saying, well, it's Dak Prescott. You got to step up now because there's nobody else there. And the Dallas Cowboys have literally failed as far as helping their quarterback. When you look at teams like, say, the Eagles, who realize that Hurts isn't a great quarterback. They went out. They tried to get him A.J. Brown. They're right now trying to get better running backs to go with them. They're trying to cover him with a great offensive line. The Dallas Cowboys have gone through and have done addition by subtraction. They've gone through and said, and I get it with Amari Cooper that you weren't happy with him, but you have to do something to try and replace the players. I get it that La'el Collins was not the same guy that he used to. I feel like Terrence Steele was the guy on the roster to replace him. But we have all known for a long time that Tyron Smith is wearing out. that Tyron Smith can't be counted on, that Tyron Smith needs to have a quality backup. And unfortunately, the Cowboys have not followed through on that, and now are left wanting and scrambling, and probably if they bring in somebody, will have to overpay to bring him in because of their simple fact that they're stubborn and believe that Tyron Smith, and still to this point, we're still after him having an ankle injury for weeks, after seeing him working out on the bands when I was there at training camp 3 weeks ago, after knowing how fragile he is, still now are saying, well, playoff time, he'll be ready. The definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. You know, I've met Tyron Smith, 2012. Tyron Smith was actually scared of Joe Boo. Even though a week after he met Joe Boo, he got his $97 million contract. We worked with Tyron Smith with United Way and did a billboard campaign on the field in training camp in Oxnard with him in 2013. Tyron Smith has been one hell of a warrior for the Dallas Cowboys. And the facts bear out that the Cowboys are a better team with him on the roster. We've all seen the difference of Tyron Smith versus Chaz Green and the 8 sacks we gave up without Tyron Smith. There's no disputing that Tyron Smith is a Hall of Famer and that Tyron Smith is definitely a great player. But unfortunately at this point, and that Jerry Jones is still looking and saying, oh, we're living in a delusional state, thinking that we can rely on Tyron Smith. Now, I'm going to say, for a guy who literally had his hamstring ripped off the bone, the fact that that guy got up off the field, walked to the locker room, and walked out and went home goes to show you the strength, the mentality, and the toughness of the man. There's no disputing any of that. But unfortunately, none of that does us any good if he's not there on Sunday to protect our quarterback. I do not want to hear anything about the Dallas Cowboys having the best offensive line in football, because that's been a long time ago. The Dallas Cowboys, it's kind of fitting that Dak Prescott is getting the team voted on Ed Block Award for courage. He's going to definitely need to be relying on that courage this season. We don't have any word yet on the Cowboys' plans on what they're planning on doing, and we may not, as far as replacing Tyron Smith. If they're going to shuffle the line from, are we going to take Terrence Steele and make him the left tackle? Are we going to take Zach Martin, make him left tackle? Hell, are we just going to say, Josh Ball, you're the left tackle? Or are we going to go ahead and have Tyler Smith as the left tackle? We don't know any of those things. We don't know if the Cowboys are working the phones right now trying to make a trade for somebody. We don't know if they're going to bring in some players and try and kick the tires on, Jason Peters or Nate Solder or, one of the other guys. We just don't know. All of this has happened so quickly that we're not privy to anything other than Tyron Smith will have his surgery tomorrow, and we'll see what the timeline is. But he'll be back for playoffs, per Jerry Jones. 5 o'clock, my man DMV will be on live discussing this issue and where the Cowboys go from here. Not ready to give up on the season because, again, nobody gave us a chance when Tony Romo went down. And we ended up having a player step into the breach and rise to the occasion. I'm Mark Holmes. I'll see you soon.